Good morning and welcome to our daily show. Are you the king or the queen of your household? We want to know. As you're coming in, please let us know where you're tuning in from and let us know, are you the king or are you the queen of your household? Good morning and welcome
Or
to our
are you
daily
both? Maybe you both. Maybe you're playing both roles. Who knows? So that's what we're talking about this morning on our live show. And I think it'll be a very interesting topic because people ask Chelsea and I this a lot. Why don't you go ahead and introduce us and then we'll get into it.
Well, I was doing my queenly duties.
All right, queen.
And someone tried to take over. Okay, so yes, where was I? Kimberly is a queen. Awesome. Yes, as you're coming in, welcome. And please let us know, are you the king? Are you the queen of your household?
Or are you the jester? Are you the jester of the household?
But we're talking about king and queen. So are you the king or are you the queen of your household? Let us know. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And please like, comment, and share if you like this content. If you don't like it, then just tune out.
If you hate it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. But if you do think anyone would like to hear this message, please tag them, share this out, comment. We love to see your comments and we love engagement. So if you don't already know who we are, we're Martin and Chelsea Matthews. And our daily show, we bring you personal and financial development. Okay, we have a business. We are married. We have a combined 22 years experience in the financial industry. And we're founders of M Wealth Group, which is a financial consulting and investment agency. And we also wrote this book. We're authors of this book, Let's Fight About Money, helping couples communicate about money, handle conflict, and build an unbreakable financial house, which was really, that's our mission, to help you build an unbreakable financial house so you can handle anything that comes your way, but not just financially. We want you to be able to create the life that you truly want to live and make the impact that you truly want to make so you can reach your full potential and share your gifts and talents with the world, with you, your family, your community, your business, and beyond.
All right. So sorry to cut you off. But let's get into it. Sorry.
Okay, well you go get into it, okay?
So, but why don't you hit on the first point?
It sounded like you wanted to get into it.
Yeah, so go for your first point.
For my first point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today we are talking about being a king and queen in your household. And it's not always roses and peaches. Let me tell you that, okay? It takes a lot of work to rule a kingdom. And really, when it comes to being the king and queen of your household, we want to talk about what does that mean? And the first thing is when being a king and queen of your household, first thing is to know your role. Right? Know your role, know your place, stay in your lane, right? But we're going to talk about what does that mean? And in different households, that may mean something different. So it's not, we're going to share with you some of our roles in our household and our business and how we apply that. And then you could take that and apply it into your household and what roles that you guys have. But first, you do have to decide on roles. You can't be doing the same things. And because then there's going to be, headbutting. So you got to decide on who's going to do what. Who's going to do what in the household. And if you have a business together, who's going to do what in the business? Because, Go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, you can finish it.
I'm done. Go ahead.
So look, when Chelsea and I first started, first of all, how do you find, if you are king, how do you find the queen you're looking for? If you are whatever you're looking for, the opposite of what you're trying to find, how do you find what you're looking for? So first, I was looking for somebody that I could build something with. I was already in business. I had dated people who didn't get me being in business. That was not their thing. And they couldn't be supportive or helpful or whatever. I didn't necessarily need them to be supportive, but I needed them to understand what I was doing. And so if you couldn't find somebody who's on board with what you're trying to do, I'm sorry to say, but you might need to, if it's not like a serious relationship, get rid of them. So in that case, I got rid of the person I was dating. And then I said, okay, these are the things that I want in somebody I'm going to be with. If I'm going to be in business, I need somebody who can understand that, and they don't have to work with me in the business, but they need to understand my approach. This is what I'm going to be doing, all those kinds of different things. So when I first met Chelsea, I grilled her. I asked her different questions. Hey, because I'm trying to determine, I was trying to qualify her. Okay. If you're going to be in a
It was
relationship,
like a job interview.
if you're going to be in a relationship, you got to make sure the person you're in a relationship with, look, do you know that's who you're going to be next to? If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're choking or you're having a heart attack or whatever, you realize that that's the person you're counting on to save your life. You
and
better
not
make
be the
sure
one choking you.
not be the one choking you. Okay, you better make sure it's the right person. And people aren't really taught about how to go and find the right person. So for me, I looked at, okay, what am I trying to do in my life? And then what do I want the person who's going to be on this journey with me? What do I want? What characteristics do I want them to have? What, all those kinds of different things, right? So that's how I approached it. So I started looking at and grilling Chelsea when I first met about what she was trying to do with her life, where was she going? I didn't want somebody who was going nowhere. Where are we going to go? The land of nowhere. You can't build something together with somebody who wants to go nowhere. And so that's how I approached it. So with that, we started to then determine our roles. Okay, who's going to do what? And you don't have to have traditional roles in your household. For example, Chelsea doesn't cook. Okay, she doesn't do a lot of stuff in the kitchen. In fact, in our household, I cook more than Chelsea does.
You grill.
I grill, so I should
Okay,
say I
that's
grill.
not called cooking.
We grill more than we cook.
Our
So,
son cooks the most in our house.
yes, he does. He does cook
for us.
He doesn't
Sometimes
cook.
he does.
So, but I grill. We grill chicken. We do all this kind of different things like that. So I grill a lot. But I wasn't marrying Chelsea for her cooking. I wasn't looking for somebody who would stay at home and raise 5 kids. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not necessarily what I was desiring.
He had to come to terms with that's not what he was going to get.
I did, and I was born in West Africa. In West Africa, all the women cook. All the women cook. The men even know how to cook. Okay, so it's very unusual that a woman grows up and doesn't know how to cook over there. So I had to, in that case, come to terms with the idea that, okay, Chelsea's not, her skills are not in the kitchen, but she can help with the business.
I mean, it doesn't mean I can't cook anything.
So that means I'm not.
To.
Yeah, she just doesn't. There's skills that I have.
Why don't you talk about what your roles are as a king?
So
and let's leave what my skills are not.
All right, so
I don't think that's part of being a king and queen of the household.
So if you look up the definition of a king, it was somebody who was a leader. It means somebody who's in a preeminent role or high position in a land. And part of the king's duties was to provide and protect for the household. And a lot of successful kings, like some kings were born into the role. When we talk about king and queen, we're talking about you create that, right, in your household. So the primary role of a king, as I see it, is somebody who provides and protects the household, the kingdom, their group, their unit. And a lot of kings were warriors. A lot of kings fought. So when it comes to taking care of stuff,
Rain, kings and queens
are
are supposed to cook.
Yeah. So
I need a chef.
When it comes to understanding your role, getting clear on what you're supposed to do and how you're going to go and execute on it, and making sure that everybody knows who's doing what. So why don't you go ahead and state your report? So
what are your roles as a king?
Well, it's number one to provide. There's 2 main roles I have: to provide and protect. Provide and protect. And provide primarily financial, right? So that means I have to, like you see a king in any leader, their job is to help to create prosperity for their kingdom. So my job is to help create prosperity for my household, for my business, for the employees who work in our business. That is my primary job, is to ensure the survival, meaning the continual survival of my household. That means if my body dies, if I die tomorrow, could my household still continue living on in a standard of living in which they're accustomed to or better? Which means if I die, I can't have my family going backwards. That would be unethical on my part. As if you're going to become a king of your household, number one is to ensure the financial survival, the survival, and especially the financial survival of your family. One of the tools, if you don't have a lot of money, one of the tools you can use is life insurance. Life insurance can make sure that your family continues, ensures the financial survival of your family, making sure you have those things in place. So providing for the family and creating prosperity. It's my primary duty. Secondary, but probably both of these are probably equal or close to each other, is to protect my family, and protect my family not just physically. I have to protect my family from economic threats. I have to protect my family physically, which means if somebody comes after us, I have to be prepared to take them down or take them out. You understand? It's why I own firearms. It's why we train. It's why we do different things. It's why I prepare. I'm preparing because I have to make sure to ensure the survivability, the survival of my household and my business. And you can't. There's a saying that um, tough times create strong men, and strong men create good times, and then good times create weak men, and weak men create tough times. So my role is that you've got to be tough when you need to be, and sometimes you got to be a savage when you need to be. Because here's the thing: if somebody comes after me, like physically, and they're trying to harm my family, right? I'm not trying to be nice to you or kind to you in that fucking moment. If it's a savage, you're coming and you're trying to fight me and you're trying to take over my family or harm my family, it is a fight to the death. That's when you have to be a freaking savage. And sometimes you need to be a savage to protect your family economically. Like if it looks like there's going to be crazy conditions in the economy and things are going to look tough, you might have to turn into a savage. And sometimes you might go work out. Like if you want to see your inner savage, go work out. And when you get frustrated, like this morning, I got very frustrated during my workout. It was a very tough workout, and I couldn't get some of the weights I was trying to get. I went higher in everything. I had 11 personal bests, but I kept pushing. And I got super frustrated with some of the stuff I was doing.
Nice job on your personal best.
Thank you. I got higher in volumes, higher reps, and everything, and I pushed myself. And then I got pissed off, and I realized, in this moment, I got to be a savage to do what I need to get done. And sometimes the king's got to be a savage. The king's got to go to war, and he's got to fight to do those two primary things: to provide and protect the household, the business, the kingdom, whatever your kingdom refers to. You got to sometimes do that. And sometimes in society, we got to be kind and gentle. The good man exercises restraint. Just because a man exercises restraint does not mean he is not capable of going out there and doing what he needs to do and being a savage, what he needs to get done. So I lived in a war. There was one night where some guys came, some rebel forces came, and they shot in our house, shot in the house that we're staying in. And they killed somebody in the house. And they were preparing to storm inside of the house. They did not know if we were armed, how many people were in the house. They didn't know that. It was all dark. All the lights were off. It was all dark. They shot somebody in the house. We were prepared for those forces to come into the house. If they would have come into the house, they didn't. If they would have came into the house, it would have been a fucking fight to the death, because we would have been fighting for our lives. And how old was I at the time? I was maybe 13, 14 years old. At that point, I already encountered war. I already grew up in a war zone. I already understood war. I knew that if it came down to, and there were also child soldiers, if it came down to somebody else and me, I would have to fight. Didn't matter if I was 13, 14, whatever. So sometimes you have to be able to pull that out of yourself. And sometimes you have to do it to get to where you need to be economically.
Okay, so I wrote down a few things of what it means to be a queen of my household. And number one, and then what I want you to do is think about in your household, what does it mean for you? Are you king or queen of your household? What does it mean? What are your roles? Okay, so number one for me, being the queen of my household, it means to stand by my king and allow him to rule in his role and to rule in my roles. So we have different things that we rule in our household and our business. So we've decided on those things, right? And one of the things for me is like we've made very clear that I don't cook. And I don't cook, I don't do all the household stuff. Like we run a business together, okay? But I do still run the household. I just don't do all of the stuff. Okay, so I enlist everyone to help. We have somebody who cleans our home. I don't do all the laundry. I have made sure that everyone does their own laundry. I don't do all the cooking and cleaning. We have whoever cooks, the other person cleans. Our son, he cooks for himself, so he cleans up after himself. So part of it is making sure that all of the roles are handled in the household and getting done. Okay. And then the things that I am in charge of, I make sure that I get done. The things that Martin is in charge of, I make sure to let him rule in those areas. So we're not conflicting. We're not trying to do each other's roles, and we're not like having a power struggle, and we're supporting each other in the roles that we have taken ownership of. Okay. And like one of the things when we started working together in our business is he's very good with the clients and putting all the strategies together. And I felt like I have all the same licenses as him, financial licenses. And I felt like I'm supposed to do all of those things. I'm supposed to know how to do all of those things. And I would feel like the things that I was doing that were more administrative, communication, management type things, I felt like those weren't as important because it wasn't like bringing the direct bacon home. But I had to realize that that's his skill. That's his expertise. That's where he rules in the business along with other things. But then the things that I am good at, those are where I am in charge of. I have ownership, and those are vital because if those things don't get done, it does not lead to where Martin can do the things that he's good at, because I have to keep things organized and send qualified people for him to talk to. So it's very important to not only decide what your roles are, but to have confidence and competence in your role and to understand the importance of it. The second thing that it means to be a queen in my household is having good communication with my army, good communication with the household. And also all of these things they go into our business as well. So having good communication with Martin, even if we may not be on the same page, even if I may be irritated at him, we still have to have good communication. We still have to confront things and handle things in our life as parents, as a couple, as business owners, and with our team and our business. I have to have good communication with our team. Martin was talking about sometimes he's got to be a savage. He's got to go out and fight in a war, right? To protect and provide for our business and our household. So that means he may not be having great communication with everyone because he's over here focused doing the thing. So I have to check in with everyone. I have to have good communication. I have to check in with him. I have to make sure that everybody has the things that they need to succeed in their roles. The other thing it means to be the queen of my household is to be the eyes and ears. So having good communication, the eyes and ears to snuff out the enemies. So having good communication means I know what's going on. I know where everyone is at. People that come into our business as clients, we have standards of who we work for. I communicate with them and I can determine, are they qualified? Do they have, the right mindset? Do they have the right attitude? Are they ethical? Same thing with people in our team. I am observing their activities, their stats. I'm having communication with them. So I know what is happening within our household and our business. And while he's out there making sure to provide and protect, then I'm looking for where are the threats? Where are the threats that he may have to use his savagery and get him out?
I will say something really quick on that point about ethical clients. If I discover you cheat on your wife, I will not do business with you. Never. Because if you cheat on your wife,
you're going to cheat on us.
You're going to cheat on your finances. I guarantee you, somebody's cheating on their spouse, they're cheating on their finances. But what do you have to do when you're cheating? You hide shit. So you're going to be hiding transactions, hiding stuff. Mm-hmm. You're in hiding. You're not going to want somebody else to find out the truth about your stuff, the truth about your finances, all these things. You're going to be hiding stuff because you're doing something unethical. So if I find out, there was somebody we had that I was certain is because there was too many weird things this person was doing that I knew this person had to be like cheating on their spouse. And anyway, there was other things with them, and I'm like, I'm not going to do anything with that guy. And so we never did anything with that person. It wasn't just that one thing. It was several things that person was just a red flag. If somebody cheats on their wife, there's no reason why I would do business with them. Why would I want to do that? They can't even be ethical in their own relationship.
Yeah. So another thing that it means to be a queen in my household is to boost morale and make sure the army carries out the mission. So looking at making sure everybody has their roles, making sure everyone is completing their roles, and looking for, is somebody having a difficult time in their role? Is a teenager having a, bad mood, or is something not going right with Martin? So I'm always checking in with everyone and making sure that we all have what we need to be able to perform our roles at our best.
Yeah.
And the last thing is to continue to earn my role. Just because you get married, just because you have a business, just because you have kids, does not mean that you always have that title. You have to continue earning it. So for me, I have to continue improving to be my best. I have to be an example, because not only am I running a household, I'm running a business, and we have clients. So, and we're talking to you guys. And so I have to be an example, and I want you to build an unbreakable financial house, to make the impact that you want, live the life that you want. And so I have to show you how to do that through my example. I have to continue striving to improve myself, to carry out my tasks, and to do that by example.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing here, somebody says, good guys don't last, but bad guys do. This is a guy named Scott Hall. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't think that's true.
And here's the thing. Here's the reason I point that out is because sometimes there's quotes, there's things he says, God bless the USA. I do agree with that.
I agree with that.
But the idea that good guys, it should go to your definition of what good is.
True.
So to me, good are things that enhance survival. People that are trying to make their households better, their businesses better, that's good. Now, sometimes people misunderstand the word good to mean like sheepish, or like a wimp.
A nice guy.
Yeah, like a wimp. First of all, I don't even like the word nice guy. People use that because nice, if you look up the origin of the word nice, it meant like a fool. So you don't want to necessarily be a nice person. You don't want to be a nice guy. There's nothing wrong with being kind. You should be kind to people. So that's what I equate to be a good man, is somebody who is trying to foster the survival of other people. They're not trying to bring people down, hate on people, all that other stuff.
Someone who does good things.
Yes.
A bad person to me is somebody who does bad things, and eventually it's not going to work out. Maybe it works out for a little bit, but if somebody's being unethical, they're going to get found out. If somebody is, hurting someone, it doesn't work out eventually.
Yeah. So moving on to our next point, it's like you got to also know your desired results. You got to execute on your role. You got to know exactly what you need to do. Chelsea and I continually talk to each other about things like this. So something that's very important, you got to know what's important to your queen. If you're the king and if you're the queen, understand what's important to your king. Whatever. This is, we're using these as a metaphor, okay? And we were talking the other day about what she needs and wants, different things that she needs and wants. For a lot of women, it's talking to the guys for a lot of women. You got to understand that financial security and financial freedom is extremely important. It goes to protection and it goes to prosperity, providing and protecting.
It doesn't mean we're gold diggers. It means
does
we want
not
financial security.
does not mean the person's a gold digger. Understand that, because in this is look, before we built cities and all these different things, there were hunters and gatherers, right? The men went out and hunted, and they protected the village. They went out and hunted to provide the food. That's what they did. And your value was based on your ability to go hunt with the tribe. That's what you went and did as a man. You were a young boy. You went out there. You wanted to go be hunting because you wanted to go with the men, okay? And then the women were the gatherers, and it took care of the little children in the villages. That's how the whole thing was. Then we built cities, and then different roles and different things started to change. You can do whatever you want in your relationship. But for the vast majority of people we talk to, and we've had tens of thousands of conversations with people about their finances and wealth and money and business over the last 22 years combined. Chelsea and I have been in business. Once you look at that, you understand that when you understand that it's very important to provide and be in a position that you provide. There's times where you may not be in the best position to provide. Maybe your wife, maybe the queen may be providing and helping and doing different things until you can get back to where you can be. Don't let your ego get in the way of doing that. But put yourself in the position. Like when I was broke, I wasn't trying to date people. I was trying to get my shit together. I was trying to figure things out. Like how I was going to make it, what I was going to do. I wasn't trying to be living and dating and trying to be like struggling the whole freaking time. I try to like establish myself because it becomes important when you're trying to survive and trying to do something well. So know the desired results. So Chelsea and I talk about what her desired results are. By the way, sometimes that's changing, elevating. As you start playing a bigger and bigger game, the desired results might change. Like you see empires start to grow. Why? Because they desire more land, more prosperity. They want to grow and expand. So knowing what you're trying to deliver and then keeping track on delivering that is key.
So once you know exactly what you want, you may not know exactly how to get it. And so it's important to be able to get the right information. You got to increase your what?
I'm laughing. TikTok is a funny place. So somebody says this guy definitely in a savage either. Huge beta vibes. Okay. It's funny because here's a guy who will take their time. Understand there's people who would try to knock you off your game.
What does that mean, beta vibes?
Beta, like alpha and beta. So like a beta is like a submissive man and alpha is like a strong guy. So understand that in life, there will be people like this who don't have anything going in their life. So that actually is a beta move. If you're an alpha, you don't have time for shit like that. Going on people's live stream and commenting weird shit. Do you think I spend time doing that? No. What am I spending my time doing? Providing and protecting for my household and my business. I'm not wasting time going on people's live and hating. When you do that, it actually says more about you, the person hating, than about me, who's taking time to be productive. You see? So, and here's another fact of life that I've seen that I find true for me. I don't hate on people below me. I never have. I don't hate on people. Anybody who hates on you always hates from the bottom up, never from the top down. People who are higher, they don't hate on people below. But people who have nothing going in their lives, they have the time and energy to hate. So I understand how to deal with stuff like that, and I'm using that as a point. So yeah, I don't care. So yeah.
All right. So as I was saying, when you know exactly what you want, but you don't know how to get it. And by the way, my king is a savage. Okay. So thank you very much. So you have to find out who has what you want, right? So who has the relationship, who has the business, who has the family life, who has what you want. And then you have to go find out, well, how did they get it? Right? Use them as an example. So use them as an example and get the information that you need. So you increase your knowledge. When you increase your knowledge and you know how to get what you want, then you can take responsibility for it. You can take responsibility. And once you take responsibility for your actions, your results, then you have more control. You have more control over your results, and then you could get the results that you really want. So today we want to help you in your relationship, in your, could be at home, anyone that you communicate about money with. We want to give you this book, Let's Fight About Money, so you can learn how to communicate about money, handle conflict, and really build your unbreakable financial house. So you can get a copy of our ebook at letsfightaboutmoney.com. You can go there at letsfightaboutmoney.com and you can get a copy of our ebook. And I think there might be an option to get the physical book there too as well. If not, just go ahead and reach out to us and we'll show you how you can get it. But this book, we really share a lot of our personal experiences, how we communicate about money, how we handle conflicts around money. You know, when we combined our business and we combined our life, we had to decide to combine our finances and make financial decisions together. And we did not think about money the same way. Even though we handle a business and we help people with their finances, our own, you know, thoughts and habits around money were not the same. And most people in relationships, they do not have the same beliefs, habits, and actions around money. So it can lead to conflicts. And so it's important to be able to understand how you think and act about money. And then so that you can understand how your partner thinks and acts about money. So you guys can get on the same page. And instead of fighting each other, you can fight for each other and for your kingdom. And if you have a business together, you know, to succeed together. And so if that's something that you want help with in improving your communication, it's so important. The reason we titled it Let's Fight About Money is because if you're fighting about money, you're at least communicating about it. If you're not communicating about it, your household, your business, everything is shut down. So communication is key. And once you're communicating about it, then you can learn how to communicate with each other, listening to each other and getting on the same page. So letsfightaboutmoney.com.
You can purchase it there. You can purchase the ebook, and if you want to get a physical copy of it, just DM us. We'll send you the link. One thing I want to say though is for those of you who are out there and you're trying to grow, you're trying to expand, I want you to understand that whenever you're trying to grow and expand, whatever it is you're trying to do. So let's say you're like, hey, I want to do more. I want to grow. I want to do some things. And you start putting yourself out there and you start shining brighter, you will attract haters. I want you to just be prepared for that. You will attract haters. Sometimes when you start having a positive relationship, an ex from way back you never talked to in years will suddenly pop up. Weird how that thing freaking happens. Understand that you have to very quickly get rid of people. Anybody who comes in, and you got to treat things like that. Like sometimes when you are, it's like, you ever seen a moth to a flame and you just keep bumping into the flame, bumping into the light, they actually can't help themselves. So when you start doing that, some people will spew negativity at you. All right. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, just let it roll off you and all that. But sometimes that can actually be a stop in you actually going for the things you want to go for when you're trying to make it and you're trying to make something happen and flourish and prosper and all of that. So the thing you need to know is being very focused on exceeding and doing what you need to do. And number one thing to remember is haters don't pay your bills. There's never anybody who's got time to hate on you. I guarantee you, because hating on you is actually not a productive action. So if somebody's hating on you, they're taking that time to not be productive. People who are not productive are losers, right? If they got time to produce, but they don't produce, they're losers. And don't waste your time on losers. Cut them out. We cut people out all the fucking time. So cut them out and then stay on track with what you are trying to do and what you're trying to build. And I promise you, if you stay focused on doing that, you will succeed and you will thrive and you will earn the respect of the people around you, your staff, you earn the respect of your community, because that's what good people do, is to continue to go out and flourish and prosper. So never let anybody stand in your way. Keep continue doing that. And we'll be back Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And if you like our content, you can subscribe on our YouTube channel. Send us a DM if there's certain topics you want us to talk about. We'll be happy to go over those. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.